Somebody giggling in the background, so we know you going.
Who's that?
You.
Who's giggling?
You had somebody giggling in the background.
I did.
All right, guys, let's knock this show out. Make it good. Make it good.
Look how happy she looks.
Yeah.
Another shooting in fucking America today. He's rocked up to the job that he got fired from 4 weeks ago with a gun and just went bang, 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 bang.
And they still think their gun laws are fine, bro.
I know.
They're
Fucking idiots, bro. They're
Come on.
stupid though. They're always like, it's part of our amendment. I'm like,
Fuck your amendments, bro.
I honestly believe it. So, like, I don't know the blokes who made it, right? But it was made hundreds of years ago. I guarantee if they came back into the world today, they're like, you haven't changed it in 200 years, bro.
100%.
They'd be like,
bro.
you're stupid.
Yeah, 100%.
They would change that shit today.
Yeah.
They would edit it. They would
Renovate
edit it. They'd put it on Word, not on feather tip paper, and they'd edit it, bro.
100%. You're actually right,
Stupid cunts,
because
bro.
those people back then would have been smarter than half the Donnies running the
They
joint
didn't have
now.
automatic guns then. They had like a gun probably took 10 minutes to shoot back then.
Yeah,
you
you
have to
could
put a
load
feather down it and
They're
shit.
writing with ink.
Yeah,
Fucking-
bro.
You fucking drop the fucking gunpowder in and
See how
shit.
far you could run when you reload.
Looks like the same person in multiple cuts. They all look alike.
The dude was right, though.
Because we don't have universal health care, mentally ill people don't get the help they need. They go out and purchase firearms and kill a bunch of people. And the most frustrating thing about it is nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change. Because the money made from selling guns is more important than saving children.
Alright, this is my second attempt. Hopefully y'all can hear me this time. But as I said, fuck the government and fuck what they're doing. If you like guns and ammo just as much as me, comment down below what type of ammo, what type of weapon you got, and what type of grain, all that jazz. But anyway, I'm here about the government. If y'all, I don't care if you're a government official and you see this, fuck you. And fuck what you're doing about the ammo. It will eventually come back on shelves. Even if you do some miraculously how take it off the shelves, it ain't gonna stop every, like, big time gangs or mafias. They will eventually get their ammo. So, go ahead for the rest of y'all, like, comment, as I said before, if you want, go ahead and follow me. Stay tuned.
Yeah, freaking guy's like 13. Jesus.
We need take number 3.
My bad habits lead to late nights sitting alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use or do. My bad habits lead to white eyes staring into space, and I know.
What? Biden's gonna take our guns.
He's not taking my gun. When he comes down here, I hope he's got his will and everything in order. He ain't taking mine.
You'd shoot Biden?
Who?
Who?
Right. All right. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
How y'all
Hey, family.
joining us today? Tanya is still in England, entertaining the Queen. She was Kevin. Kevin, you on the road? Or you got a break?
Home sweet home, man. I'm home this week, baby. New York. I got to do a show last night, sleep in my own bed. You know how good that is, man?
Yeah. And what's up, Des?
Hey, what up, everybody?
All right. Thanks for joining the show today. Today we are talking about, if you're watching the show, hopefully you're watching on YouTube. YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. If you're on Facebook and you can transition to YouTube, please do. We're trying, like I said, to build up our YouTube platform. So today's show is about guns in America. America's obsession with guns. I think America, from my research, they have over 400 million guns in America, and there's only like 330 million people in America. And why are all these guns necessary in America? I have no idea. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, right? Everybody says that. You guys have heard it. Fox News says it all the time. I've heard it everywhere. America is the greatest country in the world. So if we are, why do we need 400 million guns and counting, right? Because since Barack Obama was president, guns have been flying off the shelves. Because they say Barack Obama wants to take their guns. He's going to take our guns. I'm not even sure how that would work. How would a government just go take somebody's gun? You know. But Kevin, I'm going to start with you. I know you did some research on it.
First of all, that's the excuse they use that he's going to take their guns. That's not what they really were thinking.
Yeah.
First black president. Let's see, gun sales start skyrocketing, and the skyrocketing of gun sales at that point was by, I guess, mostly white people. So I just found that it's fear once again, that was driven. An excuse that they used was he's going to take our guns. Because like you just said, Carl, how's one man going to just take all your guns? That's ridiculous. I did find out something else that I brought up in our pre-meeting that I'll get to that in a second. Let's say, first of all, suicides in America. A lot of the gun violence, and this don't get talked about a lot. I think my stats were 65% of gun shootings or suicides, not just mass shootings, but suicides. And they said that, I'm sorry, I got my stats wrong. I'm trying to find my page here. White men commit suicide by gun more than black men, and black men are involved more in homicides with guns than the white men. So that's one of the interesting stats that I found out in my research. I watched a lot of videos over the last couple of days just on this whole gun thing to prepare for our show. And like I was telling you guys, it's just cringeworthy, man. Just seeing how people just have all these high-powered rifles and just these gun collections. And they all have the same excuse, guys, and that is, oh, got this for hunting. Like, you don't need, that type of rifle, AR-15, to shoot a deer. And I'm no gun expert. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you don't need that to shoot a deer. So we had the gun experts out here watching the show. Please let me know if you need that type of rifle to bust a cap. Because I have an uncle that is a hunter. And to my knowledge, he just used a regular old piece of crap shotgun that shoots one bullet out of it. And he's been catching deers all his life. So
you got a musket?
Yeah, man.
You got to load it up.
I got to confess something to the panel and to our viewers. As a 57-year-old African-American male, I've never held a gun in my life.
What?
Yeah, man. I've never had a gun. Never held a gun in my hand. Never touched a gun. I don't even know if I've even seen a gun other than the toy ones I use on stage in my show. I don't even know if I actually had a gun in my presence, man. Other than walking through maybe Walmart and seeing some guns on the shelf or something. So guns have never been a part of my life on any level, man. So it's just, so when I see these people on YouTube, man, they got these gun collections with all of these guns. I mean, high-powered military style. Why is this even legal to have this? I mean, what human being And I go back to think about Redskin player Sean Taylor, who played for the Washington Redskins. Sean Taylor was like 24 years old when he lost his life. He was at his home in Florida. Very popular player with the Redskins. I don't know if you remember Sean Taylor. Number 25. He went down home. Left for Washington, D.C. because he injured his leg. Went home to his home in Florida. He's in bed with his wife and his infant baby. And he heard a noise downstairs. And he went downstairs to check. And he ended up getting shot and killed. He got shot in his leg, but he bled to death. He died a few days later in the hospital. But he had a knife in his hand, when he went downstairs to check for the burglar or the noise. He had a knife, But I bring that up to think about how many situations where having a gun in your house would have saved his life. We don't know, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, we got guns to protect our house. That's why I'm a gun owner, for home protection, and since this is why it doesn't always work that way, Even the lady who was killed last week, who was married to the executive producer out in Los Angeles, they broke into her mansion. She had armed security at the house and a security alarm.
Well,
And this woman, a
else.
burglar still got in, was able to shoot this woman in the stomach, and kill an 81-year-old woman in a mansion that cost $14 million.
Check the insurance policy.
So I thought about that too, But when
Don't sound right.
you live in a $14 million house, I don't know if insurance policy is the motivation at that point, Tanya.
Something's wrong with that.
The cat got a lot of money. The husband got a lot of money already, so I don't know how much more money you need, especially when you're that age. So, so I don't know. Carl, maybe you can answer this question. I think I don't put your business out, brother. I think you're a gun owner on the panel, to my knowledge. But I don't know. I just don't think that. I don't know if that's going to save people's lives, having a gun in their house. I guess it ups the odds, though. I mean, if you hear a burglar downstairs, you got a gun, maybe to save your life. I just don't. From my research, and I've done a lot, I've watched a lot of videos. Nobody that owns a gun, first of all, has ever had to use it to bust a cap in a burglar. Nobody. It's not like somebody on YouTube going, "Yeah, man, a burglar come to my house the other day and it saved my family." I never hear that story. I never see that story on the news. So I don't understand this gun ownership thing. The excuse they use is I'm going deer hunting or bear hunting and I need this high-powered rifle. Another excuse is I need to protect my family. I got ADT at my house.
Well, I mean, I live on where I live, there's only like 2 houses and I'm like 500 feet back from the main road.
Okay.
And honestly, and this is the truth, I was sitting in my house one night and I was thinking, if somebody breaks into my house, what do I have to defend myself?
Right.
And I had nothing.
You said the Taekwondo lessons ain't gonna work, huh?
And that's just the first. But what do I have? And I'll tell you, in my neighborhood and in some of the surrounding neighborhoods, what was happening. This was part of the reason too. I got something to defend myself. There were people knocking on doors, and when you answer the door, they would force their way in, or they had one person at the front knocking on the front door while there's another person around back.
Okay.
So they send out flyers and stuff saying, "Be careful." There's people, So.
Well, you know what, Carl? I push back a little bit. Then I mean, yeah, you're right. Home evasions is something that's up in America. Home evasion robberies on the rise for some reason. So I guess that makes sense. If you have a gun, I guess your odds of. I was watching The Breakfast Club. I'm not familiar with that show, but Charlamagne. You saying he go to the bathroom. He goes get a glass of water at 3 a.m. He putting his gun in his belt in his underwear pants, to go downstairs and get a glass of water. He's strapping to go to the. I mean, that's what we live in a country where you have to strap to go to get a glass of water at 3 a.m. So
I'm sitting in my kitchen eating dinner or lunch or whatever, and I got my side chick. I call her my side chick. My side chick's right there on top of a bowl of fruit. Because I'm thinking, if somebody busts in while I'm sitting there, you know what I mean? I gotta do what You know, but I'm not out there telling everybody. The problem I have with people with guns who want to open carry and who are saying the government's going to come take my guns. You know what I mean? If you have a gun and you're just sitting in your house minding your business and you want it to protect your family, I see no problem in that. But these people who think the government's going to come to take their guns and they want a war because they want to use these guns. They want to fight. They want a fight. They can't wait for some kind of war.
They think they want to fight.
That's the sense I got, man. That's the sense I got when I was watching these videos, man.
Those are the people that scare me.
Yeah.
You know? If you watch some of the videos I showed, you see how happy those people are shooting guns. I mean, they are so happy when they're shooting those guns. I'll show you. Check this one out.
Oh shit.
This is Machine Gun America in Orlando, FL, USA, where you get to shoot ATF Class 3 fully automatic weapons.
Oh shit.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
So remember, Mountain 1, Gun 1, him
0.
-2.
-2.
All right, next up, Elastic Group, okay? Oh boy. Same stuff as before, this time you got laser. Okay. Keep it on the list.
Do it. Nice.
Holy shit.
Wow. There's been 1,042 mass shootings since Sandy Hook.
Look how happy those guys were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's something I can't get with. Go ahead, Desi. You say you got something to say.
Well, it seems like we're talking about two different things. Number one, gun ownership, people who have guns. If you're like me, you're not really a fan of guns, but you've seen so much real life examples and you've seen so many movies where people with guns take advantage of people without guns. It's like an arms race. So you don't want to be the one that is caught unprepared. It's just like if you've seen a lot of the World War II movies with the Germans, and you see them come in and kill all the men and do whatever to the women. It's scary, and that's a real scenario. And in the United States, we experience a direct threat to us all the time. And so I think the difference that I'm making is it's a fantasy for a lot of people who are in the dominant society to own guns because they think that they can protect or save the white race by getting rid of non-whites through guns, because and that's the unwritten thing. That's not what they're saying, but we all know that there is a imminent threat by
they
white.
They want a race war.
They want a race war, and they think they want a race war, but there's example after example. First of all, if you look at, there was a Proud Boys rally in Philadelphia. They had about 200 Proud Boys with guns walking down the street in Philadelphia, shouting their mantra. About 8 or 9 black guys started running after them, and they all dispersed and ran home. And they're the ones who had guns. And that is because it's a fantasy. And when fantasy meets reality, it's a different thing. I don't want a race war. I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill anybody. But I want to make sure that I'm safe and I'm protected. I specifically had a case last year. My car got stolen out of my garage, and we saw it on video.
Out of your garage?
Out of my garage. It was right before COVID.
Wow.
I had a Mercedes GL class that we left the garage door open by accident, and 3 guys pulled up. 2 guys got in the car and drove off.
How they started?
They must have been watching you.
Yeah, they had the key.
Oh, the
Huh?
key. You left the key in the car,
Yeah. I usually the garage door is usually locked.
But
So
I mean, you left the key in the car.
the key is on a shelf.
Oh.
And how did they know that?
They didn't know that. They searched and found it, but they had
Yeah,
time.
but they've been watching you. They were casing your joint.
It was 3 a.m, and as I watched the Ring cameras,
Yeah.
I go, it's a good thing I wasn't awake when it happened, because I would have happily charged out and tried to handle business and without a weapon. And I didn't think that maybe these guys had weapons, because maybe last summer another neighbor had guys, I don't know in other states, but in Connecticut, if you're under 18 and you commit grand theft, even with a weapon, it's just a slap on the wrist. So we have a real surge of, it's on the news in Connecticut all the time, of these guys stealing cars. So make a long story short, my neighbor had someone come in their garage and their gun was out and pointed down because they had the Ring camera. So now everybody's on alarm. We live in a really nice neighborhood, so you can't say it's that. It's just that there's a prevalence of people who are willing to die, it seems like, for material things. So you have to be prepared. Like I said, they think they want a race war, but Dylan Ruth also said that the reason why he shot up the people in the church in Charlottesville, because he was too afraid to go to a black neighborhood, because he feared that they would get him before he got them. So,
that is true.
and you have to be careful as if you're black or if you're a minority, you have to watch out these people who show up to a protest with guns. And this was even before Kyle Rittenhouse, because they're just testing to see how soft a target, because we know white supremacists don't go for men who can fight back. They pick soft targets, children, women, the easy targets. So when they show up, you have to question, even if you're going to a Black Lives rally, which, I mean, if you're going to a rally or anything, check out the people around you. We've seen over and over again, they're undercover cops. They're part They're part of the Proud Boys, and they're looking to start mayhem, because the same people who don't want you protesting will deliberately cause trouble so that they can speak out against protests.
Right,
Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, one of the pillars of understanding white supremacy, she basically put it like, because black men have the power to genetically annihilate anyone through sex, white men feel like this is their only equalizer. So that's why they have such a prevalent gun culture. And we know that when Barack Obama won presidency, gun sales skyrocketed. But also when Donald Trump won the presidency, the highest percentage increase in gun ownership was black people. So and it's just,
we have to get ready.
it's like an arms race. I mean, you're afraid to be caught without it. And I'd be happy. I would have been happy to take the guys on without weapons if they didn't have weapons. But when I think about it in hindsight, they probably had weapons, and that could have been the stupidest thing in the world for me to run out there and try to fight 3 guys that had weapons.
Were they white or black? I'm just curious.
They were white.
Oh, the reason why I asked that is because, they're, well, never mind. I'll tell you why later, but there's a reason why. It's all targeted on purpose.
I have to say this.
Because you're black, but because of your car. There's certain pieces that are worth a lot of money.
Maybe it's unrealistic, but if they were black, I mean, in my car garage, all my comedy,
they wouldn't have made it in. The neighbors would have called the cops.
All the comedy memorabilia is on the wall. There's pictures of me and so there's pictures of me everywhere. There's pictures of me doing all these things. So if someone black would have broke in, I would have been like, "Come on, man, we're brothers. Why are you stealing from me?"
Hey, Des, I'm glad that I'm not the only one on this panel that has a shrine to themselves.
My wife won't let me keep it in the house. It's only in the garage.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Tanya, anything on the gun
Oh.
culture. I think you're in Britain. I think in Britain they're not allowed to have the kind of guns we have.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is they don't, even though they started all this crap, they don't allow weaponry like that here. So you're just starting to hear about like a shooting or something like that. You're starting to hear about it, but it's not like in America, like every day or every week. So they're just, I don't know why it's becoming a thing, but yeah, they're not allowed to have it the same. So it's I don't even equate it to anything in Europe because only America does this. We're the only country that has this going on, except for like if you go to like certain parts of certain third world places where somebody might have gangs, what do you call those? Guerrilla gangs or something like that. That's about the only, or drug cartel. That's about it. But anyway, obsessions with guns. Now, I think that I personally think it all started from when they, of course, always when they let the slaves go, but also, during the cowboy and Indians period when we had we had our cows and our cattle, you had to protect yourself because the cows someone may steal your cow. So that's what I think initially. Okay, we had that going on. Then there was the cowboy and Indians thing going on, which was a farce, as we know, because that was really like, you're going to get your butt whipped with these arrows if you don't have a gun. So that's kind of fed the need to have the guns, because it was like, you're not really going to win. You're not going to beat them without it. It's kind of a bullying situation. And I think to this day, people think because they have a gun that this is my power. And it is a power to most degrees, because most people don't want to die. But the problem I have is, what are you either hiding or what are you scared of? Because most people, in my opinion, that I've seen lately that have guns, it's not for the right reasons. I'm a Quaker, so there's no reason. But if I was going to get a gun, I would move, because I moved to the South, I would get a gun because they're crazy down there. That's just me. But everybody else saying, because I don't want anybody to come in my house and rob me. I'm like, what is in your house? First of all, what are you keeping in your house? The only people I know usually they get their house robbed. I'm just saying, just in general, it's not like it's happening every day. Like, you had a nice car. You have something really exquisite that everybody knows about. Maybe you own a big business, a big store, so you may bring home money at night. I don't know. I've seen break-ins happen because of that. That makes sense, right? So you need a gun. You're a drug dealer. I'm just saying, you got to have one. You're a mobster. You got to have one. Those are reasons someone thinks that they need a gun. But barring that, I really don't think people are carrying it because of that. I think they're carrying it out of fear. And that's only fear from what they've heard in the media and what the stereotype has been fed to generations of them. Just like for us, my mom was like, you can't get, my mom was a minister, my foster mom. You're not allowed to have weapons in the house. My mother didn't even keep alcohol in the house, okay? That's how far behind we were. But she always just say, they'll be used against you. So I was, out of fear, I've never owned a weapon. And the 2 times I tried to use one, when I tried to tear gas when I was walking in Brooklyn one night, and I thought this guy was going to attack me. And guess what? I sprayed myself in the eyes. And it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, why were you running? I said, please don't hurt me. He said, hurt me. He says, I was running because you was running. You thought I was a robber? I saw you walking up behind me and you was walking past. He said, that's because you was walking past. And if you're a girl, then I figured I better run too. I was like, wow. So that's one. Then another time I had a switchblade comb knife or some crap. I don't know. And then I hurt myself with it. So I never use weapons because my mom told me not to. So that's just me. But there really is no, in my opinion, there really is no need to have a gun. If you're trying to protect your house, you actually would be smarter like we did. We had dogs, because my dog prevented a break-in one night when we lived in Bedford, and the van pulled up. This is around the time of the Bisbee Lane murders, that was called. This is in the 70s. The van pulled into the house about 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's asleep. My dogs were trained, so they hid under the pine tree. They let the van pull in and go up, get it, pretend like they were going to get out. As soon as his foot hit the ground, my dog was trying to rip his leg off. That's a much better precise target than a gun, because
But they
if
tell
you
you
know it's his job, they won't even get out their car. They can't even get out to shoot the dog because they know the dog is trained to do it. So, in my opinion, I think a dog's better because all the theories are all coming from slave days, from the what's the name of that movie that we saw, Birth of a Nation. Oh, them black folk gonna get you. They're gonna get you. And people don't want to admit it, but they're really fearful. They're fearful that we're gonna do something and get revenge. But I'm like, white people, I love you, but we're not gonna get revenge. It's been 400 years, boo. We would have been got it. That's how we get down. If we were gonna do it, we would have been did it. We're not revengeful people at
We
all.
just want to be left alone.
Exactly. And some people don't want to leave us alone. They just want to keep agitating us and keep this thing going. But with guns, you don't need them for us. We ain't coming to get nothing we don't want nothing you have, first of all. At least I know I don't. And the people that are in that nature of stealing and being trifling, you know, you can identify them. You don't need a gun to ID them. You already know who they are. Stop hanging around and doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. That's how I feel about guns. That it's out of fear and guilt that people get guns.
Has there anyone ever been in a situation where someone was open carrying? Like I was in a Friendly's restaurant with my family, and there was a guy who he was, 30-something-year-old male with kids and a wife, and he had his sidearm out in the open. And I had to watch him the whole time because I don't know what he was capable of doing.
Yeah.
Because Connecticut is an open carry state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
I've seen it down south. I've seen it. All my cousins, they got guns for their ranch because they have a ranch. So that makes sense to me. You have a ranch, that's something to protect. Oh, gotcha, I got you. But just to be walking around, look, my piece hanging out, it's like, oh, just stir me wrong and that's on. Are you kidding me? Like, no. It's scary to see people in open arm states because you don't know their intent. They could be a Dylan Roof, and you don't know until you're dead.
Yeah.
Who would have thought in the church?
But in America, guns seem to be the answer for everything, right? Like cops show up to some guy who's just doing something without a weapon. The first thing they do is put their hand on their gun. You know what I mean? And I just find that interesting that you're going to solve the problem of a disturbed man, you know what I mean, with a wiffle ball bat, and they pull out a gun.
Only here, only in this country. I mean, not here where I'm at. We're in America, excuse me.
Yeah.
Every other place talks first.
Yeah, and then there was the guy in the wheelchair that got shot 9 times. A guy in a wheelchair.
Right.
He was going away from the police. He supposedly stole something from Walmart, I think. And he pulled out a knife, but the guy's in a wheelchair.
One interesting point is that people with guns think it's very manly to have a gun, but to me, it's manly to go hand to hand because you both live, just like the movie Fridays. You both live, and most of the time, you can settle any disagreement. I used to do a lot of sparring, and even with people I don't like. And by the time the session is over, you earn this respect. You get this respect from someone that you just fought, just because he's willing to stand there like a man and throw hands. This goes back to, we're talking history. We mentioned a lot of good things, but there was a guy from France. He was African, and he had about 15 people, and he made about 1,000 people surrender. And he was a swordsman. He eventually became one of the 3 musketeers, but 3 people caused 1,000 people to surrender because they were fighting with swords, and these 3 guys was so good they just quit. So that's why there's an urgency from some people to have guns, because they can't stand the thought of losing a physical combat.
Okay.
Fear.
Yvonne Williams Simmons, that's
Hey,
your friend.
Yvonne.
What's up? She says, not everyone I'm licensed, and because of it has made me think before I respond. Well, you're rational, but most people that have guns, you know what I mean, these crazy people that shouldn't have guns, and I don't understand the no background check. What's the case for that? Anybody know what?
Only for us. For us, we get one.
Well, that's the point I made earlier, Carl, in the pre-show. I want to bring it to our audience. After the Pulse nightclub shooting down in Florida, undercover investigative reporter went to a gun shop to buy a high-powered AR-15 what it's called, rifle, and he did it just to see how quick he can get a gun the day after a deadly mass shooting. And he said it took him all of 38 minutes to go in and walk out with a high-powered assault rifle. 38 minutes, that's all it took him to get a gun and put in his car. In the same town where a mass shooting had just happened 18 hours ago. And he said the only reason it took 38 minutes because the line was long. Like people in front of him buying guns. And half the 38 minutes was him waiting to get waited on. So, you know, it's crazy how quick you can get a gun. They say you get a gun, you can walk and get a gun, a high-powered assault rifle quicker than you can get a job as a waiter. You know, like it's like the application to get a job in a 4-star restaurant is harder than getting a gun.
It's still unfathomable that Kyle Rittenhouse was able to, underage, he had a straw man purchase, something that should be highly illegal. In other words, I need a gun, so Carl goes and buys one and gives it to me. I should be in trouble for getting one, and Carl should be in trouble for giving it to me because it bypassed the background check. The whole process got bypassed. How did that happen, and how did the judge just throw that out?
If he was a white male, period.
Oh yeah, because you and Carl would be in jail right now if you did what Rittenhouse did. Me and Tanya be doing this show right now and going, I miss those guys. Sure, miss those two guys. Tanya, we're gonna hold this down. We're gonna hold this down for the next 20 years so they get out.
20-year lockdown. Well, you know what's funny, Kevin? What you say about what did you just say about oh my gosh, I just totally lost my train of thought. When you said what you just said about getting the guns,
the guy took 38 minutes to get a gun.
Yeah. Okay. So I had some people say to me, because I was asking people just on, my friends who I know are gun lovers and blah blah blah, and they swear to me that it's because they just feel like they need to protect themselves, and something else they said to me that was really strange. But it's valid. Here's my thing. It would be one thing if we were a responsible society. I wouldn't care who owns guns. But we've shown over and over again that we are irresponsible society and that we have ill will toward others. That's my concern. So I understand the people who are concerned that they're going to have their guns taken away. I get that. Because I'm going to pretend like I'm in their shoes. If I was one of those people that felt fear or whatever it is, fine. But my problem is, how do we wean out those who have mental illness, that are half-bred and have no wits about themselves and have no remorse or feeling for a guy, excuse me, something in my throat, for a guy or girl that walks by and just shoots them because they feel like it, because they looked at them wrong. How do we wean them out? That's my problem.
Tanya, we are the most violent, civilized nation in the world. There's we can't change who we are. America is America. Was who we are.
On that, right?
We've always been this way. Since day one. Since they come over here and beat up on the Indians, man. It's always been that way. Nothing has changed. It's just nothing has changed. It's America is America. Yep. America is a pretty girl. I always say America's that pretty girl.
No, she's a pretty whore.
That you take home. And she take off her weave and her makeup. You go, damn, you ugly. So America has a lot of makeup on it, but underneath it's an ugly, a lot of makeup on. Underneath it's an ugly person. And it's who we are, man. And I just, like I said, my 2 hours of watching videos, Tanya watching all these videos on gun owners, and I'm not saying all gun owners are bad people, just the mentality that of some of the gun owners. I don't care how much you want to protect your family. You don't need. I always say about these rappers, for example, we talk about rap artists and they got 10 or 12 cars. You know, like, I don't know. I'm not a multi-millionaire. I don't know if I need 10 cars.
10 cars.
You know, but so I don't understand
my dad
why.
had 6.
I don't understand why some celebrities have 10 or 12 cars or 15 cars. Some entertainers have 30 cars. You know, I know some people collect. Jay Leno collects cars. You know, he got over 150 cars he collects, and DJ Envy collect cars. So a lot of people collect cars. You know, the same way I collect dogs. You know, so they collect. You know, they collect cars, but people collect guns too, I guess. One guy's just a gun collector. If a burglar breaks in your house, you only got a chance to grab one gun, I guess. You know, so to have a case with 40 different guns in it, and you hear somebody rattling downstairs, you got a choice which one you're gonna grab, I guess. Though, let me see. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this one. I just don't know why you need to have that. If that's the reason you have a gun, why do you need to have 40 or 30 of them? You know, that if you have that many guns, then you're probably planning, prepared for something more devious.
Well, they say the minimal you need is 3. You need a shotgun, and that's the main home protection because it doesn't shoot through walls, so you don't have to worry about unintentionally killing someone.
I thought about that for a while. That's interesting.
You need a handgun for up close and personal. Because a shotgun, you need distance to shoot it. And then most people say you need a rifle for even longer distance.
Hey, my mom used to just throw a pot of hot water on your ass back in the day. So.
That's what I'm saying, grits.
It's olive green grits on that ass or something, man. I don't care what type of burglar you are, how big and mean you are. Hot water, you coming up off my ass.
One time
Matter of fact, you'd probably rather be shot than be hit with a pot of hot water.
So, Kevin, your mom hears a sound in the yard. She turns on the oven.
Yeah. No, I thought someone got my door. I turned on the grits. I turned on grits.
You turn grits?
That's right, baby. I get it popping. That's way worse because as soon as you get in, it's a done wrap, and you can't shoot through my door. It's a fireproof door. So. It's like,
you guys remember back in the day, they would always show like the cowboys and the Indian movies. They would show like the Indians riding towards the white man on a horse, and then they would pull out like a machine gun and just start cranking off.
Yeah, the Gatling gun.
Yeah, the Gatling gun, and the Indians would just be falling, and you know what I mean.
John Wayne movies.
Yeah,
I want to tell you something, old boy.
The Indians were always the bad people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It made it seem like the Indians were the bad people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, yeah. Yvonne said yes, absolutely. Why so many guns?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can make the argument you want to protect your house, and I could say yes. Okay, that's great. But okay, even if you put one in each room, after that, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got one, you know, near your bedroom. You got one near the door. Okay, fine. But you got like a collection of 100? Like what's up with that?
So let me ask you guys this. Like with COVID and we have power outages, what are you going to do? Say COVID and there was a shortage of toilet paper or water. A gang of 5 guys, teenagers, knock on your door and say, we don't want to hurt you. We just want your water.
I got the pot of grits.
The pot of grits.
That's
So, Des, can I ask you a personal question, Des?
So, what do you like for dinner?
Des, let me ask you a question. If you had a gun in your home at the time you saw the guys taking your Mercedes, would you have grabbed your gun and went down?
If I would have saw it going down, I probably would have grabbed my gun, but I definitely wouldn't have shot because.
So why are you going to grab it then?
Because you don't know if you go down with your gun, you don't know if they're going to attack you. Even an unarmed guy might be dumb enough to attack you if you showed up, right?
Right.
And you know.
So then you have to use your firearm.
You would have to, yeah.
Yeah, now you got a situation on your hand with the police and the coroner's wagon, all these people at your home and the news, and it could have been an ugly situation. Do you end up getting your car back unharmed? You did end up getting your car back unharmed?
I got my car back, yeah, but it was we gave it up because it was we didn't want it anymore. My car was weird. It on Mercedes you use it looks like a flasher to change lanes, but it actually you can throw it in reverse by accident. So we
Okay.
were afraid that they took it and drove it and threw it in reverse. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys.
Okay.
You gotta go.
All right, brother.
I'll be right
Peace.
back.
Okay. You be right back? Okay. Go check. You're gonna check his Mercedes. We got him paranoid. You're gonna check the other bins.
Firstly, I think if somebody breaks into your house, I think they want to die. If you're coming into if you're going into somebody else's house,
Agree.
I think you left your house knowing I'm gonna go rob some houses. There's a possibility I can get shot, and I can die.
Yeah.
I mean
What about
when people take your personal stuff, like I had somebody take stuff out of my car, and when I sat in my car, it just felt weird. You know what I mean? Like there was somebody in
Violated.
the car. Yeah, it felt violated.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when these people go in your car, in your house, or steal, and you know what I mean? Like really, I mean, how do you sit at home and plan to go rob? Can you, in the same breath, like plan to go fill out a job application, or you know what I mean? Or
Hey, Carl, there's a gun range not too far from where I live, a few miles from where I live. And every time I drive past there and I see the cast of characters going in, well, I say that because you know what cast of characters I'm talking about. Going in there.
Yeehaw!
Not even that, just I'm going to go ahead and be bluntly honest. It looks like just people it look like off-duty police officers, it look like Trumpsters, it look like people that don't like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just look like people that don't like me. So that look, we all know that look. We're African Americans, we're Black people, we know that look. All right, so my point is, when you get your gun license, Carl, and you go to a gun range, are you in that situation where you're around a bunch of?
Oh yeah, I'm the only Black person on the range.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I was getting at. Okay.
Careful, they don't shoot you by accident.
But here's what I try to do, and this is the truth. Here's what I do. I try to go in the middle of the day when a lot of times I go, there's just me, or it's just be me and one other person. Because if you go like after work or on weekends, there's certain times you go where there's a lot of people there. But I try to time it where there's not many white people there, because while I'm like practicing, I swear, and there's somebody else, I'm thinking they might turn around and just shoot me and go, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Taser. You remember that lady?
Yeah. And that trial's happening right now, by the way. The taser trial is happening right now, which, a 26-year-old veteran doesn't make those type of mistakes. So we already know we're down with that, but hopefully she doesn't get off. And so you know what you need to do, Carl? Next time you go to the range, you put on some camouflage outfit and a MAGA hat. One of those Make America Great red caps again. You be fine, man.
And you start talking like Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, I don't think that, but I really didn't feel safe.
See, that's what I was getting at, though, man. Because I guess you got to go to a gun range to learn how to shoot and work the firearm. Which goes to my next point. How come, like, thugs and street gangsters don't go to shooting ranges? Like, how come responsible gun owners have to go to a shooting range, but the regular cat on the street in the hood that got a gun don't have to go to a shooting range?
Because unfortunately, he practices on us.
I'm just saying, like, you don't see some guy in the hood going, man, I gotta go to shooting range today and take some practice shots. You know what I'm saying? So why do a guy with a license like you, Carl, got to go to a range to learn how to shoot a gun? Is it that difficult to shoot? I never shot a gun. Is it hard to shoot a gun?
No, but I tell you what, I found out there's a lot of kickback. When you shoot a gun, I didn't know it was such of a kickback. Like you see people shooting guns on TV and it just go bang bang, but when you shoot a gun, there's like a kickback.
Oh, so when you see Will Smith shooting and rolling and doing all that stuff, it's just a movie.
Yeah, it's just impossible. Like there's some kickback.
Rolling all over the ground, shooting all that stuff, and hitting every target as a movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the gun problem is going to be solved I think we had enough mass shootings in America to know that Congress is not going to do anything to stop it. The NRA is more powerful than anything in America at this point.
Right. They pay for all those senators' jobs.
So Donna Haygood says she loved going to the range. Donna, Donna's Donna carries
military. That's what I was gonna say. A lot of those young Proud Boy types join the military, so they have access to guns.
So Donna's a military person? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I met some young kids who were like, "Yeah, I gotta, because in case there's a war, I gotta make sure I'm ready." And I was like, "Oh, Uncle Sam really like you."
Well, they all get their training. That's why a lot of people. That's what we're going to go to the racist aspect of it. A lot of people a lot of young people join the military and get that free training. It's free training basically, military training. Then you get out and you get a job as a police officer. You get more training. So you got a lot of white supremacists have infiltrated the police forces and stuff like that, and our military. Start with our military, So
yeah, has the government ever tried to take anyone's guns in America ever?
Yeah, they did. What's his name? There was a white guy who lived on a farm. I want to say 12 years ago. Why that number? I don't know. I didn't. They went and actually. This is where you get the kickback from some white people, and I understand it. I watched the documentary and I watched the video, and I felt I left crying because I said that's so messed up what they did to this guy. He was a white older man, and his family was on the farm, and the government wanted to come in and do something stupid. I don't know, something dumb. I was like, it's his. Why do you need to go to his farm? They actually went there and confiscated him and killed him on his own property, which is why a lot of people are like, you ain't coming doing that over here, which I understand. When that argument comes up, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. The government should not be allowed to come in your house and take nothing, in my opinion. So I'm going to find out the name and let you guys know. But it was a real case, and I felt so bad for this guy. It was his daughter watched. Everybody watched him get shot by the government. It's horrible, horrible. So those are real cases that really happen, and those are when I say, hey, I don't blame you. Hold on to it. Just don't come for me. That's all I ask.
Desi, you got to unmute yourself.
Oh,
you got to. Okay. All right.
Yeah, just don't come for me. That's my issue. It's not even that you have a gun. I don't care. It's when you look at me when I walk by and hold your gun. That's what I'm saying. Like, ooh, why are you looking at me? Am I cute or not? Check yes or no. Like you're 9 years old, right? Those are the time I get weird. Like why are they so happy to have their gun? If you're really protecting your farm and that's really in your head, because it is a thing, and the government can come and do whatever the hell they want to, apparently. So I understand those people, but don't come to me when I'm sitting in church trying to be at peace with God and with the earth, and then shoot me up because I'm brown. Like that's like.
One thing I will say about the whole gun range thing and being there with white people is that even though there's like a camaraderie, the whole gun thing, like
we gonna kill ourselves.
It's like it is like a camaraderie, like I honestly didn't feel. I just didn't feel safe because I always think there's always going to be one crazy white dude that's going to go off and just, shoot for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But I didn't feel any racism towards me or anything. But it was just a culture of, hey, we all have guns and they want to talk gun talk. And I really know nothing. I know nothing about guns, really. I mean, all I know is I bought one because I felt like I needed it. And, I'm not an enthusiast. I got friends. I know a friend that has a safe, a gun safe. He has over 50 guns.
Wow.
He has AK. He has AR-15s, and he has all kind of shotguns, and he has handguns. He has the Glock. He has the Colt. He has
And why though? Is it because he likes guns, or is it just? What's the motivation? What's the motivation behind that? That's what I'm confused about. I don't understand the motivation.
From what I heard, he's like, when you buy one gun, you can't help it. You want this model, you want that model, you want
like tattoos.
Yeah,
about like tattoos.
And I can understand that, I guess.
If a newer gun comes out, no, he wants that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you get hooked on it.
Well,
But
it's still a weird phenomenon because the ultimate purpose of a gun.
But black people don't seem to cherish guns the way white people do.
Right. Because I have family members that own guns and have them for legit guns, but they don't talk about them the same way.
Right,
They're not
exactly.
like, I got my Smith & Wesson, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
They're not
I
like
think white people, it's the power that it gives, because white people value power. That's the one thing we have to understand. When a white person says, I'm doing it for freedom, just put in power whenever they say freedom, because they want power. They want to be able to dictate what happens to other people, and if they can't get their way, they want to kill themselves easily.
Yeah.
And
that's the truth. I hate to say
black
it.
people, we have a different sense of power in that because we're black, we assume a certain degree of power because I don't know, we were just taught that way, like, to command a certain level of respect. I think that through the history of what they use the gun for is definitely because physically they might need an advantage that they wouldn't normally have, and so that's why they cherish the gun so much.
I mean, when you walk through a neighborhood that's predominantly white, do you feel scared?
Yes.
Do you feel scared? But I'm saying that because when white people go into a black neighborhood, like you said, Dylan Root didn't go to a black neighborhood because for fear of the people in that neighborhood have guns. I mean, there's a level of fear. If you are so fearful, you feel like you need a gun. I've never been to a white neighborhood where I felt like I need a gun. I've been to white neighborhoods where I feel like, oh my, I shouldn't be here.
But
you wish you had one.
Well, it's
I get scared. I get scared when I'm traveling. I mean, a lot of times I'm on the road. Like I was in Florida for 8 days in Florida, and I'm traveling to different parts of Florida. I'm driving. My GPS took me off of Interstate 75 to take me a alternate route for some reason, and I spent 25 minutes on a long, skinny road.
Surrey's racist.
Where I saw Confederate flags and Trump signs, 2024 Trump signs and Confederate flags all over the place. And I'm driving down this road, and I'm cussing my GPS out, for taking me off the highway. I guess it's saving me gas or time taking me this way, but I want to stay on the highway where I feel safe,
Yes.
But I knew I was in a place where my black ass was not liked on that road for 25 minutes. Where I just saw nothing but Trump 2024 signs and Confederate flag signs on people's mailboxes. I'm like, what?
They have, you can pick which way you want to go, like on your maps, right? So they should have one for black people that we can pick. Do not take me near the KKK.
That's funny. That's a good joke, Tanya. You should write that down.
I was driving and my car said that I had 0 miles. Like I thought I could make it to a gas station. I was Carl, you might know the place up in Norfolk, Connecticut, the theater, that big theater. I was doing a show there and I thought I could get gas, but I was running late. So I'm on Route 8, which is no lights or anything. And it said I had 0 miles. And my big fear was that I would have to go to someone's house in the dark and tell them I need gas, because I figured my odds of getting gas are way lower than my odds of getting
I
shot.
would never go knock on a white person's house and ask for help. Never.
There's been somebody got killed. There's a black lady that got killed that way a few years ago. I got to Google it. Remember the black lady? She knocked on the guy's door for help because her car broke down and he shot her to death. There was a real, and he got away with it, I think. She was knocking on the door for help. She ran out of gas and he shot her to death. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that happened
that's
to me.
dangerous. It's dangerous.
What was it? I was trying to do what do you call that? Not DoorDash or one of those things, right? And it never dawned on me because I don't think of myself as black until it's confronted in my face. And so, I'm a human being first, and then I'm black, and then whatever. I'm just saying, unless it comes up or someone's like, I'm at a certain place, I'm like, oh, here we go, I'm black, here we go. But I don't go around saying I'm black. It's like I'm just me. So I took this stupid side gig saying, oh, I can do DoorDash. So they sent me to this location. I was like, this is not my neighborhood. Hold up. And so I had the numbers, you can't see them. So I was going to have to a door, and I was like, I am not going. Nobody's there because I saw somebody peek through and was like, oh, and I was like, oh hell to the no. So I literally waited till I saw a jogger coming by, and I was like, excuse me, do you know where 94 is? And they were like, it's over there. Like they were like not sure what to do, and I was like, I'm just delivering food. That's all. I'm not here for nothing. Plus, these houses ain't nice enough for me to rob anything anyway.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's a scary thing. It's very.
Oh yeah, I mean, there was a time I was working for this company, a cable company actually, and we were out in the rain, doing, working, and I wanted to take a piss, and I decided to go next to some bushes and take a piss, and this white dude came out and go, hey, you could have asked to come in and take a piss, you didn't have to do it. I go, you would let me in your house?
No way.
Really? You would let me in your house? He said, well, you could have asked. I'm like, no.
That's crazy. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No way. He said, that was nice of him, but
really?
Now you want to be nice now?
Yeah, excuse me, Mr. White Man. Can you let me in to take a, you know what I mean?
That's funny. That is
Like,
hilarious.
use my toilet. What's wrong with you, boy?
Yeah. It's amazing how some white people walk around totally oblivious to what the hell's going on. That's all. How do you not know that I would not be comfortable? You know what I mean? And it's doing the same job. I was at this white lady's house. It was raining. Same day it was raining. I went to her house and she gave me a towel to dry myself off. And I was done. I said, do you want this back?
Oh my God, no.
And she looked at me like, because I'm thinking, you know what I mean, she's probably going to burn it. You give a black man, there's not enough friggin' tide or you know what I mean, or gain in the world that's going to get this towel clean enough after you let me wipe my face with it, my arms and all
It's
that.
funny as shit.
That's an interesting dynamic. Like what percent, like how much are we overcompensating or compensating for white racism?
Yeah, but I mean,
that's another show.
Yeah,
that's another show.
I always question myself. I mean, she was very nice and she gave me a towel because I was soaking wet, and she's here. Take this towel, and I asked her, and I was honest. Do you want this back? Because I know that you're not going to use it after I use it. So.
Now she's gonna be thinking you're trying to steal her towel.
I know. This nigga trying to steal it.
Of course, I want it back. It's my towel, boy. What's wrong with you?
She told her friend, I gave a black guy my towel today, and this nigga trying to steal it.
We have to end on that note of like,
okay.
do I ask or not ask?
All right, that was fun. Thanks to everyone for watching the show. We really appreciate it. Please remember to watch us on YouTube.
It's the only gun I own. It's the only gun I have.
Dang. Yeah. So if anybody breaks into Kevin's house, he's gonna pull that out.
You get hit with a clown gun, goddammit.
And if you come to my house, you're gonna get some grits.
Yeah, you gotta go play. Kevin's gonna Tanya's gonna tell the crook to hold on a second. Just give me 10 minutes. Let me heat up.
10 minutes to make some grits.
It better be instant. It cooks fast.
I have a dog, so he warns me before they even get up the steps.
Okay.
Oh, trust me. Twice I was like, time to get it going. Let's go.
Tanya got that Al Green security.
Tanya's in the kitchen heating up grits.
I said better be instant because it'll heat up faster.
No, Kevin, I need that. I need
Al Green security. You can have that word, Al Green security.
You don't have a microwave, Tanya? Yeah. You have a microwave?
I do.
Okay.
I don't use it, but I have one.
All right.
It's hilarious.
All right. So shout out to Pam. Pam couldn't be here with us today. Apparently, Pam has better things to do. Pam, we missed you.
Hope you better. Hope things good, Pam. Where you at?
Hi, Pam.
So I want to thank everyone. Emma Bird, thank you so much. Pamela Jones. Pam, we haven't heard from you in a while.
Hi, Grandma.
Hope you're great. Pam is dying about the Al Green security.
That's a good one.
Hey, Yeah, Tanya, you might be onto something there.
Yeah. No, Kevin gave me that. Kevin, I gotta steal that. That's good.
And TW made a great.
I think only a black crowd would get that though. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because I've talked about it before, but not like that.
Yeah, Al Green Security.
Al Green Security. Damn.
Any charge for that, Joe, Kevin? Or are you gonna let him have that for free?
Huh?
You gonna let
How much
Tanya
is it
have
for
that
that
one for
joke?
free, or you gonna charge her for it?
No, it's free. It's free of charge.
All right, Tanya, we got it on tape.
Just fix me some grits one day, Tanya.
Oh, you like my grits? Oh yeah.
Butter and sea salt.
Oh, sea salt. Oh, you highfalutin.
Yes.
He says sea salt.
Thanks to Russell. Thanks for checking in. Thanks to everyone. Emma, thank you so much. No, Patricia's always watching. She doesn't.
Hey, Patricia.
Hey, Patricia, thanks for watching. Donna. Thank you.
Donna.
We have a TW
Happy belated birthday.
on YouTube all the time. What's up, brother?
He had a good comment too. He said overcompensation equals stress equals early death.
Wow.
That is deep. Thank you.
Gina Fiore, thank you. So, Gina, you and I were supposed to talk on the phone, and it just never happened. So I'm sorry. We're gonna make.
Hey, Gina.
Yes. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
All right.
This house flipper.
I know, Gina. Is Bob? What's his name? Bob Vila. Was that Bob Vila? Remember Bob Vila? He had a show. This old house.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh.
House is up. Yeah. So Gina might have her own show sometime.
That's right. She should.
Yeah. So Gina, if the contractors aren't working fast enough, Gina can pull out a gun because she's from Texas. You know.
That's right.
You said this house was going to be done 2 weeks ago.
Oh well, no. I think she's going apartment by apartment. She did it.
Oh,
She made it pop. She made it happen. She did it.
She can still pull out. Well, who was it? The cartoon guy that had the gun that was always shooting up the place.
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah. So Yosemite Gina. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We love you guys.
Thank you
for taking the show. And next week, Tanya, you'll be back with us on U.S. soil, right?
Yes.
All right, tell the queen I said kiss my ass before you leave.
I've already told her. She said she'd love to come and kiss your ass, but she said Patricia will not be particularly fond of that.
That bitch is 95 and not looking like she's planning to go anytime soon.
No.
Tanya, thank you for getting through the whole show without one grunt. You never said hi, everybody.
Why, she using grunts?
No grunts?
Because of where she is.
Oh.
I'm recording live in the bathroom.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the show. We love you guys. And
love you. Bye.
Y'all be safe. Love y'all guys, man. Hey, stay out of Carl's house. He'll bust a cap in your ass.
Don't use towels either. He'll burn them.
Look like Al Green.
And stay away from Tanya's house.
Stay away from Tanya's house. Oh, shit.
At least if you
And
come to my house.
look, and don't sleep on Desi. Wait, that's oxymoron. Sleep on Desi.
Yeah. If you go to Tanya's house, you're going to be disfigured. At least if you come to my house, you're going to get, a few stitches.
Right.
That's all.
Get a little holy. You're gonna get real holy.
Y'all silly, man.
All right, guys. I love you guys.
All right, have a good evening, everybody. Be safe. Talk to y'all. See y'all Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right, that was good.